Skyrocket Your Life is a podcast filled with pragmatic tools and practices to maximize and improve all areas of your life. From relationships to business to self-growth and happy living, your hosts Becky, Vanessa, and John Wheeler will give you insight to uncover your limitations, clear your roadblocks, and skyrocket you into a life full of possibilities. What is your biggest limitation? Ready to let it go? Don't explore alone. Join us every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern.
Hi, everyone. We're so grateful you chose to join us for the Skyrocket Your Life podcast, which is going to be a podcast filled with pragmatic tools and practices to maximize and improve all areas of your life. And since this is our first episode, we wanted to introduce ourselves and give you a little background as to what you're going to get. So I'm actually going to go ahead and let my co-host Becky, Vanessa, start.
All right. I like that, John. Thanks. What are people going to get? I wonder. How super cool. So, hi, my name's Becky. I am a wife of 22 years, a mother of 3 amazing children. I am an entrepreneur and a founder of 4 companies. And one of them is MBV Pro Marketing, which is consumer insight, social media advertising, new product development. The other one is Gulf Coast Research, which I do medical and clinical trials. John and I both run Oracle Publishing, which is super fun, and John is super amazing at, I must say, which we help people self-publish their books. So I'm also an international speaker. I'm a realtor and an investment of real estate properties. I am an award-winning figure competitor. I'm also a personal and business mindset coach and an outdoor adventure enthusiast. And I'm also on a national televised TV show since 2011. So, John, you're up. Tell us about you.
Yeah. So, hi, everyone. I am John Wheeler, and my credentials may not be as intense as Becky's, but I am a teacher. I'm a counselor in training, soon to be counselor. I've got a year left, and I'll be licensed. I'm also a certified life coach, a published author, international speaker, business systems genius, which is a new title I've become to love business systems. And I like to consider myself a human encyclopedia because I can literally recall everything. And Becky reminds me of this all the time.
Super.
And in my work, I've worked with teens, I've worked with business owners, and really just your average Joes to boost and get clear on what they require in their everyday lives. And that's kind of like what we want to talk about with Skyrocket Your Life. So Becky and I have been wanting to find a way to get some of these tools out there to people and looking for a fun way in which to do it. And so we came up with, well, why are we not just doing a podcast? Why don't we just get on and talk and let people know, all the amazing tools that we have at our fingertips that they could also be using. So Becky, I know that you like to use the word skyrocket a lot. So I'm wondering if you can give a little taste of what it means to skyrocket your life.
What it means to skyrocket your life. Oh, just the willingness to make some changes and take off with them, right? Like that's what we came up with this Skyrocket Your Life. When we have our conversations we're like, hey, I'd like to create this in my life. How do we do it? Right. And when we have those conversations, and we will literally, go through and talk about maybe what systems we need to put into play, how, we can implement those ideas and those systems, everything changes. It's really that simple. Things then just skyrocket. So I loved Skyrocket. And I'm not even really sure if you brought that up or how that came about. I think we had a call. Actually was like skyrocket your finances, right? And how cool is that? And if we could, skyrocket all areas of your life, right? Like relationships, money, business, your happiness, all of those different things. If it was just choice, right? And you today could just let go of everything and then take off. We're talking about in different topics how to do that, or literally, I guess, how we did that. Because I have to say, I do it. Like what we're talking about and what John, is on here, both of us talking about, these are things that we do, that we've implemented. They work. At least they're working in our life. And if they're working in our life, like how can you implement them in yours? And what would that look like for you to make them work in your life, right? And just skyrocket your income, skyrocket your business. And when we really started talking about this, my big thing that I was like, well, okay, this needs to be about tips, tools, and techniques. I mean, I said that over and over because people do want the how. They really do. When it comes to this, how do you do it? And I love to hear how people, like how they've changed their life. How did they make money? How did they start a business? How do they make the relationship so amazing? And, when you talk about practical tips and tools and techniques that you can actually start using and asking questions and implement them into your life, things will skyrocket. And that's like really what our target is for this podcast, to keep them shorter, right? Like short and packed full of like explosive information.
What I think the cool part with Skyrocket too is like, so if you think about a rocket, they're fast, they're quick, they move. So it's like when you look at your life, these are tools and things that we're using to make our lives a little better, a little greater, and to do it quickly and like with a little sense of ease. So it's like, okay, here's what I want. How can I get it? That's the pragmatic piece. Like, what can I actually do? What can I put in place to actually make this move quickly and to get where I'm trying to get to? So, and what's really cool with both of us is we don't ever just look at one area of our life either. Like, we don't just look at relationship. We don't just look at money. We don't just look at business. It's like, how are all of those things connected? And how can we skyrocket actually skyrocket your entire life, not just a piece. So you're going to find different topics. Like one week we may be doing business, and who knows, the next week you may find relationship, you might find money, you might find something to do with motivation. Like
body. I love body. I'm implementing the tools I use to become a figure competitor. Like we have a lot of conversations on, judgment of your body, how many people don't like their body, do like their body, blah, 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 blah about body. And implementing, having that full balance, like that full balanced life. And John and I are here to tell you that is possible. It is possible to be happy. It is possible to have money. It is possible to do it all and make it easy.
And I will say too, like if you're listening to this and you're already ready to turn this off, because I know there's people out there listening who's like, oh, my life can't be easy, blah. Really look at that. Where have you decided that your life can't be easy? Because I am one of those people who listen to podcasts. I listen to life coaches. I've done tons of programs. They're like, oh, if you just look at this, your life will be better. And it's like, okay, I've looked at tons of things. I've tried everything and nothing is working. So be willing to look at that for you. And as like, we're not here to tell you what to do. Like Becky was saying, we're here to give you what we're using and how it's working with us.
Yes.
So as always, with anything you're doing, ask questions and use what works for you. Not everything we do is going to apply to you. Well, unfortunately.
Yeah. And we like to empower you to know what you know.
Right.
And then like how can you guys also contribute to us, like with what you know, like, so there's so many amazing things there that we'll be talking about. So check the others, and we look forward to you guys all being on here
creating this crazy thing called a podcast. And this, just so you're aware, this is Becky's and I's first attempt at making a podcast. We did not, come from an area where we already knew how to do podcasts. We Googled it. We looked it up. We said, we want to do this. What do we need to do? What do we need to put in place? And that's how this is happening. So, I think
talk about that too, right?
Really what we got. And maybe we'll do a podcast on how to make a podcast. So if you like what you heard today, Be sure to like and share the episodes and share it on your social media and tag us. If you tag us, we will reply. And you can find us by our names, Becky, Vanessa, and John Wheeler. And who knows, we may even have a podcast channel on Facebook. We haven't decided yet. We're new. We're playing. We're creating. And if you'd like to connect with us, or if you have topics that you want to hear about, like you listening right now, if you want to hear it, check it out on our SoundCloud channel at www.soundcloud.com/SYL podcast. That's SYL like Skyrocket Your Life. Or you can send us an email to sylpodcast@gmail.com, and we will let you know when we receive it. We'll give you, feedback. And if, something else comes up for you, maybe you get irritated. Even if you hate the podcast, tell us. We like feedback. All feedback is good feedback.
We love it. Yes.
Yes.
So thank you for clicking on this and listening. And check out the next ones.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.